I hate eco rounds. I'm going to rush B every time. And, no, I feel like I got those teams wrong. But we saw a ton of forces. Oh, Ronin 5. Denial versus Ronin 5. And what was the result? Ronin 5's, desperate force buys actually got them the game win. It's actually a bit surprising. That's not what we recommend, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't particularly like the whole get the eco round over with. We like to see people or teams, put some thought into their eco rounds and actually try to, put effort into winning them. I mean, obviously, if you can do a suicide plant, well, my dog's whining. If you could do a suicide plant, then yeah, it's going to get you the extra money, and the eco round isn't a total waste. But I mean, obviously, the win is going to just do so much better.
Okay, let's confirm now. Are we live?
We are live.
Oh God! Welcome to CEVO TV. I'm caught. He's caught. Whatever. Let's do it. Let's call this. It's a 5-man hold it outer. The closest person to B just got back there. Shroud is holding lower B by himself. They're calling the bluff of CyberRev, thinking that this is the location. Now Shroud is leaning way into Z. He's actually playing like 1 foot into Z right now. So this is a big risk, and it's a risk that's going to have a payoff here because the bomb is just waiting, lingering, probably with a set smoke or a set nade. Here comes the first one. It's for the hell position. It falls, and it's not particularly convincing. Now you see 2 back-end players from Cyber just trying to sneak in past the gray train of the Pop Dog to the bomb site, and Shroud's telling his teammates, well, I've got a count of 2 here. Don't rotate. It seems like, since there's no bomb plant, this is a fake. You guys should stay at outer. This is very good teamwork, good heads-up play, good just not panicking for Shroud, and he's going to try to fight this by himself while the rest of his team deals with the situation. The rest are at outer. Icy is fighting, and now he engages the bomb point. Nobody can safely plant because of the fact that he stayed here, and it's making it very difficult for CyberRevolution to find any purchase. Great diagnosis by Manajuma. They've got Schaefer surrounded. He faces the firing squad and loses. That's an amazing amount of communication that just happened, even if we never heard it.
Yeah, great comms right there by Shroud, especially, keeping us cool and only seeing 2 people. And, Shroud is confident in his own play to realize, hey, I could probably, at least get one of these guys and let you know if there's more coming. So they knew they didn't have to rotate and they could stay set up outer for that fake, which obviously didn't go too well for CyberRev. But so now they're going to be on the 2 ecos, and it's looking kind of like a rush inner. Actually, maybe it's a rush inner and then still try to plant outer.
Yeah, it looked like they 3-2 split, and they wanted to have players sprint toward the Z to engage Miniker, who just blew away mainline, and Connor looked out right about now, before this fight ends and the players died. 2 players don't have primary weapons, and they've chosen to stick with their secondaries, looking to upgrade further, probably at the 4th round, into scoped weapons of their choices. We've been hinted at least the game plan of Manajuma going into the gun rounds. That's going to be very expensive on that 4th round. You got to keep track of their economy.
It is, yeah. And we actually, someone is subbed. I didn't see who it was, unfortunately.
Oh, welcome.
But if you type in chat, then I will greet you appropriately. So sorry about that, but thank you for subbing and welcome to the CEVO family here, buddy. But yeah, like you said,
there's the guns now. By the way,
we see they have, yeah.
Up Scar on the field. They want to force their way in. Look, you have 3 down in Ivy, and this is sometimes irrational. You get a little bit caught up here. These guns aren't necessarily being used effectively when you pile that many people into that small of a space, and they kind of run into a wall here as Icy just sprays through the smoke and finds Peter. Excellent instincts, and he just blows him away. There's only one left. It's Schaefer, and he's faced the situation before in round 1. He's our last man standing. We go to him now. He's kind of stuck. He's kind of thinking about, I need to get a kill here. If I just sit around, do they know where I am? Can I get this kill? If I get this kill, it's a 1-on-2, and I can try to just, deathmatch my way out. Yeah, sure. So he's going to play a little sneaky. He's got one on his left. If he just peeks now, there it is. 1-on-2. His position is revealed. It's an Opera, and if Miniker misses again, never mind, he doesn't. Manajuma 3, and CyberRevolution probably saving again.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to save after that. I mean, it almost turned into a good gun round. They forced a buy, and I honestly thought they were gonna be able to get Icy, who was auto sniping, and I was gonna say if they can manage to get that, that's gonna be huge for them because that's a big buy for them. And look at this, Manajuma is actually wielding 2 auto snipers now and 1 op, so they're going for that full scope combo here.
When we said that CyberRevolution is kind of a pick-and-stick team, you kind of saw it just being hinted. Oh, nice. Irakanji is the recipient of the CZ Rage. Connor will take his gun. They'll break into bomb site B. A bomb plant here will at least guarantee some cash. And Mainline is in the face of D-Born, who came through the connector. Shroud saves him. Wow, look at that angle. Good karma. Sticking his barrel right underneath the cylinder of the back train. He's really, really wounded, and so is his teammate who's on the bomb train. Given the numbers, you would think that this is a terrorist advantage, but given the health, you would never make that assumption. 2 left for the T's. They'll have to stop the defuse right now. Peter tried. He'll fail. Schaefer's the last, and he cannot find that diffuser because he's smoked out. When you smoke that position, it puts all the pressure on that person to reveal themselves. Guess what? It doesn't work.
Nope, and that was one of those throwaway go-rounds that we were talking about. They just rushed in and decided they want to get the bomb down so they could get that extra money to buy, which, was successful, but obviously not that creative. Either way, Schaefer's going to be able to wield an op this round, and it looks like he's going to go pick T-Connector. I'm going to his perspective.
Keep an eye on him, because this is the sort of thing that Icy somehow saw just a fraction of him and just drops him. So Schaefer, with his expensive purchase, loses it instantaneously. You're going to see this. We keep talking about this. You'll see the ISO pick. You'll see the overload pick where they just try to isolate one player and wedge themselves in. CyberRevolution want to do this all the time. They're going to try to punch you in the mouth and remove one of your players early in one of the important lanes. And if you have very highly skilled aimers on your team, such as Manajuma, it's very hard to just pull someone out, try to root somebody out like Icy, who's just stuck in right in the 4 lane. Yeah, I mean, Icy right now feels like he's invincible at 8-1.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing very exceptional with that auto sniper, but I mean, it is a little easy for him to, like you said, he is just safely in that back position, able to rack up kills here. And I mean, if they don't find an answer to get him, Schaefer had a chance to op him, but he just didn't have the reaction time to get that little tiny sliver of him that was peeking out to pick him. So, but yeah, you need to be more aggressive in getting those scopers. If you have to do it from the T connector, get a smoke down and kind of give you some. You could even smoke off that train and rush out outer if you can, but
I'm also
play it aggressive at alley.
I agree with you here. I'm a little worried for CyberRevolution's game plan. They're kind of known for hitting that one-on-one ISO shot. They need to be able to vary their playbook and throw that smoke to give them a better shot to siphon off parts of the map. And if they don't, they're going to face off against a double op and Scar look, which is never fun. Here's the thing. Here's the thing for the in-game leader of CyberRevolution to chew on, just to mull over right now. If they're fighting and they see the tendencies to have 3 scoped weapons on the field, they're probably not going to do the Ronin 5 denial push into the Brown Halls all the time, right? You're probably not going to have aggressive pushers like Shroud if he has to be a single defender at bombsite B. You might want to start working that way, because Irakanji and Shroud, more than likely, they'll be playing passive with their teammates. Food for thought.
Yeah, and I mean, I was just taking a look at the scores, and I see Peter is actually 1-5 right now, so he's not having the best start to this game. And like I said, he's probably going to be one of the key points for CyberRev to do well here. And as you see, so far 5-0. Obviously, that's not 100% due to him. It's due to losing pistol round first, and then just not getting your gun. But
yeah, here we go. Here's the overrun. It's a huge rush. It's like a pub rush. 3 people just storming through the Ivy and overrunning Icy and D-Born, who just gets mowed. Irakanji coming from CT spawn hits a low shot, that classic 1.6 stair shot, still applicable today. He comes up into the 5 lane to take his position, and the bomb is down. It's 4 versus 2. Manajuma looks like they'll be surrendering their first gun round. Minikura and Irakanji have some big caliber bullets to fire. 2 ops on the field to the retake, and that nade did a lot of damage. Good Karma doesn't reveal his position, doesn't panic, which is something that I tend to do when I'm playing. I get all freaked out by nades.
When a nade lands right at your feet.
Yeah, and you just make all kinds of noise. Yeah. They're going to save these. It's the right decision, but, I thought CyberRevolution would try to send people hunting for these ops. I would not want these ops on the field next round.
I don't think they guarantee that both of them have ops, because only one of them did at the start. But yeah, I mean, they could have went and tried to get one down. But I mean, CyberRev did what I suggested. They put a lot of pressure onto Alley and just overran it, and it got rid of Icy right there. And we actually, wow, Gaming Grids, thank you for subbing on 2 different accounts. Just gotta say that. But yeah, they went in there, isolated Icy, and took him out, and it was the key to success in that round.
Isolation is always the play, and at risk of overemphasizing it, it could be their ace or their undoing. Good Karma rushed in to fight Irakanji, who was at B in 1 round. Turns out he's at the alley this round. Minikur trades out. Excuse me, not trades out, adds to the carnage already. Good Karma and Connor are down. Here come the rotates in the fight. It's about to heat up. 4 CTs about to enter the site versus 3 Ts who have the better positioning. They need to hit a shot. Peter needs to start heating up. Just like you called it, he gets traded. Irukandi hits him from underneath the train. D-board comes CT. Bomb planter ambushes him. Main line's down, at least one left, and Schaefer has been in this position before. He's also stayed at this position before, and that's the wrong play to make. He puts the shot right over the top of the bomb diffuser. Irukandi finishes it up. It's 5-1, soon to be 6-1.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I think that was pretty much just a, they tried to take lower and just, you know, didn't have the enough to get in there and actually defend this item. They got in there, got the bomb planted, but their setup on the defense just wasn't enough to hold Manajuma from coming back in there and retaking it. So, I mean, if they do get in there, they got to make sure they send someone down over towards CT spawn to try and cut off the rotators, if possible. And then, obviously, you got to leave someone back behind in the lurk for the shower in case they try to flank you. But, yeah, they just didn't accomplish that.
The aggressive play from CyberRevolution is a little bit misaligned, I would say, with the way that they take bomb site B. They storm into B, and then they start playing conservatively, trying to play inside the bomb site, get systematically picked apart. I would like to see if they play to their own personality, and I'm not saying that's a great thing, but if they play to their own personality, they should just get to the exits. They should get to the entrances of the retake, the Z, CT ramp, down to the CT spawn if you could, and try to make life difficult for Manajuma. And I'd like to see if that could help them. Frankly, that's just a now thing. In the future, before this half gets out of hand, I think I would like to see CyberRevolution change the pace of their game. Right now, they're going for all speed, and Manajuma is they're just too good to be dealt with at only one speed. You can't just go from 0 to extreme on a team as good as them.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, they are playing with mostly speed right now, and I mean, it's causing them some grief here and there. If they do just go back to how they played it last time on Monday against Denal, like you said, they played it slow and they were just going for picks, and that was really working out for them. So I mean, if they go back to that, they should be able to have some success here. But it looks like that they might not maybe put in the time here for train, because I haven't really seen any outer smokes being utilized by.
We saw a couple last round just for fakes, and
yeah.
This round, it looks like there's one for Z. They're going to just try to go for pistol kills here. 2 traded out on the T's already. 3 and 4. That leaves Mainline by himself, who has a pretty epic flank and still can't bring down the kill that he had on Irukandi. There it is, 8-1. Only 1 casualty for Manajuma. And I should point out, we should pull up the graph just to show the money. Look at the total cash earned, and you can see the divergence. It happened at round 2, and it never really closed the gap.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what happens when you get that pistol round, because it gives you the lead going CT side, and then CyberRev, you know, even though they did get 1 round, they're still obviously going to be trailing in terms of money right there. So, you know, nothing too surprising there in a match that's the scoreline is 8-1 so far. You know,
what's very impressive, Icy and Shroud, who have been manning the corner of the Ivy and Irakanji at times, they are very collected, and they just stare down one lane without coming off of it, hit their shot. I think CyberRev on their offensive need to consider the fact that they're not moving that player off his spot, right? You need to challenge them from the T-Con, look down, fire a shot to make that person have to look both ways. Right now, Shroud or whoever is playing with his face stuck into Ivy, so you can't even cross or peek without being compromised. And if you don't have that two-way threat, I don't think it's ever going to work.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, okay, now we're actually seeing some get outside smokes here. I was going to say they weren't too hot previously in the previous rounds, but they are coming out here, and these smokes honestly aren't helping because they're getting ripped apart here. Only Schaefer left alive, and he's trying to clutch this, but it's going to be tough.
CyberRev is treating this as a 3-smoke team. We've referenced this before. On a train take, you can take the bomb train and break it into 2 pieces. You can smoke left and right, and then smoke Hell and smoke Z as a 4-smoke take, or you can smoke on the bomb train and then smoke Z and smoke Hell, treated as a 3-smoke team. And it saves some money, clearly. It saves you the cost of a smoke grenade, but it leaves a little bit of a gap. That gap was exploited right there, and casualties were taken by CyberRev for not being or for being too frugal, I should say, for being too frugal.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might just be the fact that, you know, they are having money issues. I mean, the losing bonus that they had got reset. It's starting to build up once again. But yeah, so I mean, I don't think they're able to fully buy everything that they need in order to, you know, have that expensive smoke round and outer, and, you know, just block everything off and not have to worry about you know, the little cracks getting them killed like it did last round. But here they're forcing once again with some Galils and AKs, and you see only 1 smoke on the team, so they're just going to try to work out the flashes and that 1 smoke, which Probably not going to be too successful.
They're running down the Z. D-Born steps out of the Z, in past the smoke, finds his victim before getting traded out. One left alive, and Schaefer seems to be that last lurk all the time who just gets cleaned up. It's 10-1, and Manajuma has jumped out to a roaring lead. They are not looking to surrender this at all, and CyberRev, due to their one-round win, is they've had to rebuild their losing streak bonus. I don't know. Can you use that word? Can you say rebuilding a losing streak bonus?
I don't know if you're rebuilding it because you don't really want a losing streak bonus.
You're being handed it.
Yeah. You rejoin the welfare line basically. So
that's harsh. That is overly harsh. Connor peeks from the brown hall, sees the feet of Miniker before receiving his just desserts. He's dropped, and I think Miniker gathers enough information to know that there's at least 2 in his face. He drops back, way back to the back of bomb site B. Calls for 1 rotate, called for 2 rotate. That Z player is now leaning toward him, and the bomb is now being called over toward bomb site A. You'll need a fast retake. D-Born comes, finds Schaefer at the bomb site, knows one's close, flicks on mainline, gets a double, looks for a triple, can't get it. Peter will at least trade out his fallen teammates. 2 versus 4, and both of them are in the 4 and 5 lane. This is a bad firing window to be in if you're trying to take on multiple terrorists. They can even the odds on you very quickly. The Hell player will find him. I miscounted. There you go. There's 11-1. Manajuma has a stranglehold on CyberRev.
Yeah, they went outer right there and traded out 3 people before Manajuma even lost a person, and after those people got traded out, Manajuma actually smartly backed off the site and kind of let him have outer while the rotates came for him. So I mean, it was a pretty good play. I mean, they lost a couple people there, obviously lost some rebuys, but I mean, the awareness to know, hey, we got a good trade here, and let's just back off, have everyone come in, and then 5 versus 2 makes it much easier than trying to still go 3 versus 2.
Let's point out CyberRev, when we last saw them, were playing extremely strong. Could this be because of the roster addition from Manajuma with Shroud here? Because they are just looking unbelievable.
I mean, it could be. Shroud obviously doing really well. I mean, Icy, honestly, he's the one who's been doing the best so far with that scope back in the towards the Ivy area. He's been holding down outer very well. And
CyberRev is starting to see ghosts. Miniker hit that 1 shot last round at the feet, and I think he brings down, who was it, Peter or something like that, or Connor, excuse me, and everybody just rotates back, being like, okay, let's just try to take the other site. It's almost as if they're being intimidated now. You can kind of see it in their play, and they're going to need some big momentum change, a big individual sort of effort to get this turned around.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're 11-1, down 11-1, and you see it's getting, towards the end of the half here, I mean, you start worrying because you need that minimum 5 to 6 rounds on train usually to come back and hold it down CT side, especially against a team as good as Manajuma.
Shroud is not gonna bite on that fake. Connor on the lurk finds him, wins that battle. It's a winnable round, 4-on-4 for the T's. They definitely need it, like you just called it. Mainline hits a nice peak after about 3 or 4 bursts back and forth. Finds Irakanji. D-Born's the next to go down. Miniker's left alone by themselves in CyberRevolution. Finally finding...
Miniker is looking to towards the TCC connector, and they're all in the site.
I don't understand that. Maybe he started
miscommunication.
Second-guessing himself there. What I was going to say is they found fish and water, right? They found mana. They finally found the oasis. They've got around 11-2.
Yes, and while we were doing that round, Gaming Grids, Dana, thank you for subbing to the channel. We appreciate it very much.
Ah, Dana. No analysis. Okay, going forward.
Well, they attempted to do a fake outer, like you said, but Shroud wasn't having any. And honestly, Manajuma hasn't been fooled yet by CyberRev's attempts to do fakes here. And I mean, they did get into inner and get the bomb planted, but it's just like I said. I mean, Manajuma seems like with them entering the site, they just wait for the rest of their team to show up, and then they retake in force, and CyberRev can't do anything to stop it.
Tragically, mainline puts the shot above Irakanji, and if you do put the shot above Irakanji, he's going to op you. Now, what we saw last round is when Connor had a successful lurk versus Shroud, it caused the Manajuma players to play a little slower, to second guess whether their position was safe or not, and it ended up with a round win. And now that they have another successful lurk, it could happen the same way again. 2 versus 2. Irakanji and Shroud versus Schaefer and Peter. Now 1-on-1, Schaefer finally plays that position, and he played it 4 times for a loss, and now he's finally got the clutch. He got it. I have to feel good for him, because that's so frustrating when you play that lurk. You know you're in that spot, and you just can't seem to hit that shot, or you can't have that opportunity. There it is, finally.
Yeah, and I mean, if CyberRev can manage to pull out this round, then I mean, the hope is still there. I mean, having to win after you get 4 rounds on Terra side isn't impossible. I mean, 4 or 5 or 6 rounds are usually the absolute minimums that you want to see T side. So I mean, they're starting to somewhat save a little bit here. And I mean, Eric Conji, that's the second time I just saw him get caught from pushing, so he could be throwing a little bit right now.
Yeah. I don't know if it was throwing, because here's the thing, here's the thought process probably for Manajuma. They've never seen us push. They think we're playing scoped weapons the entire time. They don't know how damaged our economy is, so this time we're going to do something a little risky, and Schaefer hits a nice sweeping shot on Icy. Peeked his head over the top of the B upper and found out that Schaefer's aim is a bit on point here. Peter finds Miniker right at the 6th lane. D-Born's the last. He has to quad clutch if he wants to pull it off. It'd be a fantastic way to end the half. But the odds are kind of against him, especially when he has no names. It's just him, his CZ, his FAMAS, and his kit. Now he's got the Asimov. You call it a curse, I call it a blessing. You see who's right. 1-on-3. He's down to 16 HP. Could turn into a 1-on-2. He doesn't. We'll call it a curse. 11-4. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. It's a doubleheader. Don't forget. You may be going to a short commercial break. If you are not and you're still with us, the doubleheader after this one continues. That's Denial versus the Stream Team, featuring new pickup Adren. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, have we actually confirmed that it is him? Because I know a lot of people were saying it's not Adren, it's Adren. Okay, just making sure it wasn't some elaborate April Fool's joke or something. But
now, the moment you say it, I'm like, well, they
now you're doubting it.
Accounts. Now I'm doubting myself. You know?
Right. Yeah. Well, this pistol round right here is going to be really important for CyberRev. I mean, they got to lock this up, otherwise it's not starting off very well. So far, Conji getting 1 kill over down at Ivy, but he's got support coming to help him out.
Yeah, whether or not that means that the CyberRev team will try to capitalize and go back out for him, I don't know, because it looks like, oh, now the tracers are coming in. Schaefer knows people are down there. He wants, oh, beautiful shot. Shroud just flops backward onto his back, lifeless, and that was a 90-degree shot, one of the hardest you can hit in the game, down at the back of Ivy. 4 alive for the Ts, 4 alive for the CTs. It's all evened up, and they've seized the inner bomb site.
No bomb with them.
Almost. The bomb's almost with them. D-Born trying to seal this one up, and he almost put a shot right in the back of Miniker, who is fighting good karma. 2 left for the CTs. They'll both come to the Z. Probably the wrong decision. If anybody just is willing to throw a flashbang or a nade into there, it's pretty much over. They got to hunt down Connor. There's the kill. Shroud and Icy combined for the kill. That started poorly for CyberRev. They evened it up, and then after that, Manajuma never lost another man.
Yeah, getting only 1 kill is going to be really tough for CyberRev, because, the money factor is going to be huge for them since they did lose that round. They're going to want to get their scopes and whatever they need on the gun round to try to stop the bleeding here, because most likely Manajuma is probably going to win the next 2. And, I mean, with that momentum and the money advantage, they should be able to keep it going for the win here. I mean, that pistol round was super important.
I would like to see this go on purely because I'm curious what Manajuma's offense looks like on Train. I don't think I've ever seen, not once have I seen this roster's offense on Train, and for as long as we've been casting, that's a bit surprising.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a first kill. Icy finds Connor getting a little greedy there and takes his candy away from him. I wanted to say, personal note, if you get no kills pistol round and you say whatever, it's CT side, we're going to save 3 rounds anyway, it's really depressing as a veteran Counter-Strike player on the 3rd round when you buy everything that you need. You look at your bank account and you have like $50 and you're like, oh, I wish I killed somebody in those first 3 rounds. Yeah, they need some. They absolutely need some. Here comes the action. They're down the ramp and Shroud has the entry. Peter's down. Schaefer hits the long P250 headshot. A good feeling right there. Good karma identifies a bunch of players, calls out to his teammates, gives the good comms. He may pick up a kill here. That seems just so ridiculously strong. Icy will prime a nade for the top. No good. This may be an eco round win. 2 rifles left for the terrorist forces. It may not be that fortunate. It started to look good.
Yeah, I mean, either way, they did force 3 rebuys and also, netted themselves some money from those kills. So, I mean, it's honestly a better save than the initial pistol round, and, it netted them some extra cash there. So they will have that going into the gun round. Obviously going to have to save again, but that does help them out in terms of getting the nades and the scopes that they want next round.
Okay, so assuming that we see another win here, AKs versus P250s and USPs, it's going to take the greatest comeback in regular season history to get this to work. I don't necessarily see it, but how do you even begin that, emotionally and tactically?
Well, it's gonna have to come down to each person, you know, holding their spot and not letting the terrorists just run them over without trading effectively. Also using utility nades to help slow down the terrorists from doing what they want to do. You know, if they get smoked outer, then they need to counter smoke and counter flash to stop those guys and be able
Oh,
to
you're a
hold their
kanji. Pay
spots.
attention. Okay. Connor almost crept up on them all Spider-Man style. He did the crab walk all the way to the top, right above the terrorists there. No round win for CyberRevolution. They caused 2 rebuys, and now they'll bid for what we called the greatest regular season comeback of all time.
Yeah, and the money is still low. They couldn't even afford an AWP or any scope weapon. So
this is what happens when you don't get player kills. Everybody thinks, let's just get these eco rounds over. You got to treat those eco rounds with respect. You have to try to win those, because the more kills you get, regardless of whether or not you win those rounds, determines the flashbangs, that smoke that you can't buy. Actually, I was going to say can buy. You cannot buy.
Yeah, getting them over with the T side kind of works just because you could get the bomb down, and that's a good, healthy
and your economy's
sum of
cheaper.
money. Yeah, exactly. And that, but I mean, if you're a counter terrorist, you got to make sure you get kills, because if you don't get the kills, then you're not going to be able to afford that off on the 4th round. So.
No helmets, right? And this is sort of the poor man's buy. Now I get it. AK, you don't need a helmet. Op, you certainly don't need a helmet. Icy will never let anybody have a helmet. He blows away mainline, who just got a little bit, gee, he wanted to just check out what's going on in this ladder room. You gotta know.
Probably not the best idea, though, to be
you gotta know
a little aggressive here.
No matter what strat, if you think that train is 60% default, you got to know that train is always going to have somebody in the ladder
There's
room.
always someone watching that ladder.
Mainline just went in face checking, like, hey, what's going on in here?
Yeah.
Anyway, 4 alive for CyberRevolution, and Manajuma looking extremely strong. They're sitting on the tie point and feeling pretty good about this. They're waiting for the matches to come to them. Now, this is absolutely different than what we saw with CyberRev. CyberRev went with the sledgehammer approach. They tried to punch somebody in the mouth, tried to punch their way into a bomb site, and now this is totally different. Manajuma is now individually trying to move their way in, going with the one-on-one looks. They're trying to move their way into the site and then do it slowly at a pace where they can digest where people are, communicate where they could possibly be, and probably through process of elimination find out where they are not and where they should be. 2 left, and as I kind of break down their offensive philosophy, it kind of falls apart at the seams. CyberRevolution holds on for at least 1 more round, and the tie point still stays as status quo.
That was very strange. The terrorists, I mean, they smoked themselves off in 2 different areas that I noticed. One at ladder room, and then one Shroud. I saw Shroud smoke himself off at the alleyway and then push through the smoke, which, I mean, that just seems like suicide to me. I mean, I guess I kind of understand where you're going for, maybe the element of surprise, but honestly, probably not the smartest idea. Maybe he just missed through his smoke, I don't know, but it looked pretty intentional to me, and, you know, it obviously didn't help because they just got rolled that round right there, and, you know, if you make those mistakes, that's going to cost rounds, as we see.
We have a lot of spam in chat. I just noticed, the first time that I checked it out, we'll get to it in a second, CyberRev looks pretty good on this round. It's an ego. I think those are P250s. I thought for a moment that because when I maximize, I lost my outlines, and I don't realize how much I depend on those outlines. But yeah, it didn't make too much of a difference. The eco's over. We're back to the gun rounds. What I want to say about the spam is don't spam. You're ruining the experience for the other chatters. Don't do that. You know?
Yeah, hopefully some of our mods are in there checking it out. And if not, we need to get more.
How to get more mods?
Someone messaged us the other day volunteering to be a mod, so.
But with great modding powers comes great irresponsive. Failed Spider-Man quote. Oh, blind kill. Schaefer just puts his crosshair where he thinks someone should be. It turned out to be Shroud. Happy birthday for that kill right there. Peter trades out Miniker. Peter drops also, and Icy will run right into mainline, saying, why is there a wall in front of me? 2 left for the CTs, and it will be 1 more if somebody could just complete that kill on Schaefer. Now, Icy couldn't control his individual one-shots, and Schaefer will be able to turn back here. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get to see the outcome of this particular round, given the fact that the CTs had 4 fire nades. Oh, no! Touchdown nade. Yeah, they bought 4 incendiaries. I wanted to know what they were going to do with that.
Yeah, I did as well, but, you know, Manajuma decided to go speed on these guys right here, and it worked out quite well for him. I mean, you did see Schaefer get that amazing op shot on the alleyway, but it didn't really slow him down. And that's smart because, you know, once someone dies and then the whole team kind of just like, oh, stops doing what they're doing. But I mean, I think these guys are at the level where they know they got to commit to their strats and they're going to go for that. So it worked out fine for them. You know, they followed up, got the entry kills, and just kept the ball rolling from there.
Yeah, a good change of pace. What we had advised CyberRev to try earlier in the first half is exactly what got Manajuma their last round. They'll walk toward inner now, using that smoke at the bottom of the ramp to mask their movement. Another smoke to block the Z rotator, but Good Karma's well in front of it. He's not even getting flash. He's by that gray train, the pop dog, and he is behind everybody. He has one and retreats. He's still alive. All the CTs are now here to help him, and he's taken relatively no damage. His ninja play has got everybody's heads turned around. When Manajuma all probably told each other that somebody was behind them, all of them turned around, and then the executioners came from bomb site A. So only one left. Irakanji is in the by those old boiler things, now these pallets and boxes that are stacked oddly in the round hall, waiting up top. If he wants to come out, he can try it, but he's got to hit the best shot of his life. Never mind. No good. So with 50 seconds left, you've got a lot of time to save, and saving is very hard to do with that much time.
Yeah, I mean, even if he does save, he'll have an AK for next round, which his team will most likely be saving. So, I mean, it's not going to do too much good here. I mean, one AK versus a bunch of M4s and an op, you know, it could help, but I doubt it'll be a round winner. But I mean, 1 versus 5, you're most likely not going to win it anyway, so might as well save it.
Good choice. We'll take a look at the cash situation for the terrorists. Going forward, Irakanji doesn't need to buy, not necessarily, and the only person who's probably out of range next round is going to be Shroud. So don't be surprised if you see a force, but our recommendation is to just play it safe. You've got a lot of rounds to work with. You've already guaranteed overtime in the worst case scenario. And then make sure that you have the right tools, right? The smokes and the flashes, and try to, you know, use everything at your disposal.
Yeah, that's what I was going to comment on. I mean, CyberRev looks like they're tightening up the defense here, and they're doing well, but I mean, you know, Manajuma just had such a large lead, and they only need 1 round. I mean, it'd be pretty hard to stop them from squeaking 1 round out for the rest of this match here, but I mean, it is possible, so we'll see what they have in store.
4-1 look. That 4 is the Z connector player, who's technically supposed to be a B player. Now the new meta of CSGO calls for a fence boost. Yeah, you only get to pull this off once. If somebody's peeking, they get this kill. They could get it. No capitalization. Schaefer doesn't take a lick of damage here, and everybody looks at Irakanji being like, what the fuck? I mean, excuse me. Oh my god, I just cursed on stream. Excuse me. How did you not hit him is what I wanted to say to Irakanji. Not even a single hit. That nade doesn't damn. I know you're laughing at me.
Yeah.
I know everybody in our staff chat is like, what did he just say?
You just said what everyone was thinking.
Yeah.
You know, that's what everyone was thinking, so.
I'm unable to cast now, just paralyzed for fear that my mouth will just degrade and I'll start cursing, and my apologies. 5 alive for the CGs. 5 alive for the CGs. 3 alive for Manajuma on this eco round here. They've yet to land a kill. They've just done it, and Peter was the first one, not Schaefer, that went down. He's right up close, gets a USP kill, does well enough to trade out for himself. That op is within range for the pickup if they want to recover it for their teammate. Mainline will do it, 15-8.
Okay, and now Manajuma can do a full buy here. Irakanji 3,800 and Shroud 3,700. They should be able to buy an AK and get some armor here. No smokes from them, though. But the rest of their team should be able to cover it. And if you look at the money from CyberRevolution, I mean, they aren't too far ahead because they got to buy those expensive guns. The op is costly every round. So, I mean, if Schaefer dies, then that's going to be a lot of money to make up for those guys. And here we go. Looks like Speed going towards Schaefer.
Speed is going towards Schaefer. He's running around. He's also running around blind. If he can navigate back to a safe spot, which he doesn't, he gets shot in the back of the head. That would have been very, very impressive. 3 alive for the CTs in CyberRevolution. They need to get a single kill here to even it up or face a landslide. The momentum kind of seeps away from you and train very, very quickly. If they do face that, it's more than likely that Manajuma takes this one. Another kill. 2 left. Peter and Good Karma come from the same firing window, both in the back hall, moving into the 4 lane. Or no, it looks like they're going to stay at the 5 lane and even move back to the 6 lane. There, 1 kill. Deborn down. The bomb is ticking away, and they are forced to try to clutch it. The first one to come out will be Peter. Good Karma's far behind, throws a smoke to blind the sight. They know the location of one. They can hear the Hell player. It's all over now. Manajuma flexes their muscle in a convincing win, 16-8. You're watching CEVO TV. I don't know what that spin is.
I don't know. I immediately switched there because that was quite annoying.